What's up guys, Houndish here, and today we have the weekly reset for the 25th of July in Destiny 2, and as always in the video, we're going to jump in and check out the main rewards and vendor inventories for the week. That includes the Eververse refresh, and that features items for Solstice of Heroes 2023, so we'll get some new stuff there, and then we'll cover vendors such as Banshee and ADA-1, as well as key rewards and unlocks for the week. So as always, I hope you guys find the video useful today, and if you dig it, be sure to get subscribed for more D2 content, but otherwise, let's get into it. And so initially, starting out today, Destiny 2 gets a new hotfix, and this is update 7151. And there are just a couple of fixes in here. So for deep dives, they say join in progress has been enabled for activities during gameplay sections of them. So essentially players will be able to join into deep dives, which hopefully will make the experience a bit better for any folks who've been disrupted by people trying to do the exotic quest and stuff like that, which is probably the main reason for that update. But on top of that, for seasonal activities, they say we fixed the number of surges and skulls that appear inside of multiple Vanguard Ops playlist activities and season activities. On top of that, experience is now properly being awarded for weapon crafting via the Solstice bonfire activity. And finally, player progression in Solstice is no longer blocked by completing kindling objectives early. So a couple of fixes for Solstice right there. Of course, we can now take advantage of the weapon crafting XP, and for any players who haven't been able to progress, you should be able to get past the quest steps and things like that. Finally though, for gameplay and investment and for armor, they fixed an issue with the utility kickstart mod that was allowing more class ability energy to be gained than intended, so hopefully that'll be re-enabled shortly. And they also fixed an issue that allowed players to cancel the activation of their super by picking up a diamond lance during cast, causing them to regain ability energy. Additionally though, they say they fixed an issue where people launchers would repeatedly play their SFX. I'm assuming they're talking about the man cannons in certain destinations. And they clarified the objective text for the week 5 seasonal challenge Battle Rhythm, where players must earn progress in ritual activities specifically. So there we go, quick patch notes, and hopefully a couple of useful updates for a bunch of players. Now though, let's talk about gameplay stuff for the week. And so the first thing we should mention right here is Solstice of Heroes that continues this week. We'll cover the Eververse items for the event this week momentarily, but if you're still working on any armor upgrades, challenges, or triumphs for titles and things like that, obviously there's still time to get all of that stuff done. So let us know if you're still playing Solstice stuff down in the comment section. But otherwise, for rewards refreshes, in the Root of Nightmares raid this week, we'll see the Crossfire challenge, and so the featured weapon this time around will be the Nessa's Ablation shotgun. Next up though, yes, we did get a little bit of extended downtime today, but upon logging in, we will see bonus infamy for Gambit all week long, so we at least get one boost for playlists this week. And then moving over to the Eververse store for the week, we'll focus on Bright Dust items, and initially, we get the Water Gun exotic emote, which is 3,250 Bright Dust. We'll have a quick preview of it right there. And additionally, for 700 Bright Dust on the front page, we've got the Roller Dance legendary emote available here as well, another Solstice item for the week. And then we get the Beach Ball effects for 450 Bright Dust, and for the featured shaders this week, we get Vintage Timber initially right here. As always, these cost 300 Bright Dust. And finally, we've got Lion's Pride on the front page as well, for the same price available this week. Then head into the main Bright Dust page right here. We've got the Flag on the Play exotic emote for 3,250 Bright Dust, so let's take a quick preview of that one right there. On top of that, there's also the Guardian Pride legendary emote, and this one is 700 Bright Dust. Pretty cool one right there as well for Solstice. And then we get the Finned Shell, a new exotic ghost shell for this season, or the event specifically, and this is 2,850 Bright Dust, so rather flamboyant colours right there. There's also the Bumper Boat exotic Sparrow right here, which is 2,500 Bright Dust. This thing comes with some pretty cool trails from what I've seen. On top of that though, there is the Scout Zeppelin exotic ship, and this will be available for 2,000 Bright Dust this week. A rather curious hacky ship, or ship with all the foundries on, should I mention, right there. So some interesting Solstice items, but for the exotic weapon ornament right now, we've got the Sturm Sudden Squall ornament for 1,250 Bright Dust, so if you're looking to add this to collections, you can do so this week. And then there is the Flamingo projection as well for 1,500 Bright Dust, but for the second page Bright Dust featured shaders here, we've got Pomegranate Gloss. Once again, these are all 300 Bright Dust. On top of that, Vintage Timber is featured for the second time, and then there is the Grand Luster shader here as well, if you want a bit of pink and gold action going on. And also there is the Regal Daring. Once again, all of these are available for 300 Bright Dust. But finally, we have the Beach Ball effects once again, on top of the Sandcastle effects for 450 Bright Dust, and finally, the Cabal Shieldbreaker is available this week as well. So let us know down below if you plan to pick anything up from the Eververse inventory this week. Next up though, let's get on to Banshee's inventory, and on the front page, available right now at least, we have the Firefright auto rifle with Well-Rounded and Osmosis, and then we've got Nezarek's Whisper with Genesis and Adrenaline Junkie, as well as the combined action hand cannon here with Zen Moment and Air Assault, and then we've got the Sailspy Pitch Glass with Outlaw Vorpal Weapon available right now. And there is also a Tarnished Metal with Voltshot, which of course is a really nice perk available on this scout rifle. It also has Moving Target, but if you don't have a better Tarnished Metal, I would definitely recommend picking this up before the inventory changes. So a cool one right there to grab if you can. But then we've got the Senuna S16 sidearm here with Grave Robber and Gutshot Straight. There's also the sniper rifle, the Irakanji, with Under Pressure and Firing Line. And then we've got the Pleiades Corrector Scout Rifle with 4th times the Charm and multi-kill clip, which could be a bit of fun. There's also the Deicide Shotgun with Surplus and Wellspring, and then we've got the Palmyra B rocket launcher with Ambitious Assassin and Explosive Light, so could be something else to add to collections if you don't have an Explosive Light roll of this rocket launcher already. But finally there is the Typhon GL5 with Unrelenting and Adrenaline Junkie, so potentially a couple of weapons right there that some folks may want to pick up. But bear in mind, the inventory will change, both in terms of featured weapons and perks throughout the course of the week, so if you want any of these rolls right now, certainly it's worth visiting Banshee. But finally, finishing off with vendors right here, and it's time to visit Shader 1. This week, in terms of shaders, she's got the Rasmussen Clan shader right there, one from back in the Black Armory days, so maybe something you want to add to collections for 10,000 Glimmer. 10,000 Glimmer. We also have the Kairos Gold Curse of Osiris shader from back in the day, so something else that's relatively rare. And the War Cult camo is available again if you're looking to add any of the old faction stuff to your collections. But we do have the Insight Unyielding set of armor right here, so if this is something else you want to add to collections, or indeed want to check out the stat rolls on various characters, be sure to visit ADA-1 this week. That takes us on to the weekly Nightfall though, and this time around we'll get the Light Blade, so that should be a fun one, and the featured weapon is the Wendigo GL3. Obviously one of the best grenade launchers in the game, and looking at popular perks for it right here, in the first trade slot, the top 3 bonuses include Auto-Loading Holster, Chain Reaction, and Clown Cartridge. It can also roll Impulse Amplifier, Field Prep, and Steady Hands though. Then in the second slot, we've got Explosive Light, Full Court, and Frenzy as the top 3 most popular bonuses, but it can also get Rangefinder, Cascade Point, and Golden Tricorn. So naturally, combinations of Auto-Loading Holster and Explosive Light pretty much comprise the most popular role of this weapon by quite a margin. Obviously, Chain Reaction and Clown Cartridge in that first trade slot paired with Explosive Light are still pretty good, but that second slot itself, considering it's got Explosive Light right there at the top, and then Full Court, Frenzy, or Rangefinder, easily Explosive Light is the best bonus for this weapon, so if you can roll with that, you are most of the way there. On top of that, of course, it does include the stunning Recovery, Vanguard's Vindication, and Anomalon Fluid Dynamics origin traits. So let us know down below either way, are you still working on picking up a good Wendigo, or have you already got the God roll? Let us know in the comment section. And very finally for today, the featured lost sectors for this week will be Bay of Drowned Wishes today, July 25th, dropping exotic gauntlets. Then we'll get Vel's Labyrinth on the 26th, dropping exotic chess pieces, which is followed by helmet drops from Exodus Garden 2A on July 27th. Then we'll get K1 Revelation on the 28th, dropping legs. K1 Crew Quarters on the 29th, dropping gauntlets. And that's followed on July 30th by K1 Logistics, which is dropping chess pieces, and finally, for July 31st, it'll be K1 Communion dropping exotic helmets. And for today guys, that is everything we have to round up in the video. So, as always, I hope this one has been useful, and if it has, a rating below really does help us out on the channel. Feel free as well to get subscribed if you want to be kept up to date with more Destiny content. But otherwise, as always, I appreciate you tuning in, and I hope you guys have an awesome day.